Coming up on this edition of Able to Cook, we go to like a fourth part of the importance of hand washing and preparing food. All that and much more when Able to Cook starts right now. Welcome to this edition of Able to Cook, the one and only program that focuses on the abilities in the kitchen despite disabilities. All month I've been doing webinars and dealing with proper hand washing, and thanks to the partners of the Brain Alliance of Vermont, the Brain Alliance of Vermont, and hand washing and keeping your hands clean is extremely important when it comes to food and also food temperatures. So, in the last episode, I went through Typhoid Mary and hand washing. So let's go through it again. Hand washing, and this is a new episode, by the way. Hand washing is crucial for preventing typhoid and foodborne illness, but not for diphtheria, which spreads through respiratory droplets. People with disabilities may face barriers to hand washing, making them more vulnerable to typhoid infection. Diphtheria is now in many parts of the world due to vaccination. The difference between typhoid and diphtheria transmission. Salmonella typhi bacteria is the chief cause, and the mode of transmission of typhoid is ingesting food or water contaminated with feces or urine of an infected person. Poor hand washing by infected food handlers is a major source of spread. Diphtheria is close person-to-person contact through respiratory droplets, coughing, or sneezing. It can be transmitted directly contact with discharge from skin lesions, cuts, and so on. The role of food, the key vehicle for transmission. Contaminated raw fruits, vegetables, or shellfish, and unpasteurized milk can transmit the bacteria. According to this, diphtheria, which is spelled DIPTHERIA, diphtheria, is rarely transmitted via contaminated raw milk, but it is not a common foodborne illness. The importance of hand washing. I know I keep going through this, and keep repeating myself, but if you work in a professional environment, we must wash our hands. We must wash our hands. If we don't wash our hands, you'll get sick. The importance of hand washing. Frequent proper hand washing is a primary defense against germs and illness, but is more critical for preventing typhoid than diphtheria. For typhoid, a person carrying Salmonella typhi, so I'm going to spell this, Salmonella, and the last word is typhi, Typhi, can pass through bacteria to others if they don't wash their hands and using the toilet, then handling food or water properly. Proper hand washing with soap and water significantly significantly reduces the spread of typhoid. For diphtheria, while general hygiene is always important, hand washing is not a primary prevention method because the bacteria is usually spread through respiratory droplets. How disabilities can increase risk. Certain physical, cognitive, and sensory disabilities can create barriers to proper hygiene, which can increase risk contracting foodborne illnesses like typhoid. Challenges may include accessibility. Individuals may have difficulty accessing a sink. I did not know this. Reaching the faucet or using soap due to mobility issues or an accessible hand washing station. Sensory or cognitive impairments. A person may not be able to rub their hands together effectively and generate a good lather and remove germs. In addition to addressing specific challenges related to disabilities, these measures can help protect against infection. Vaccination. The diphtheria vaccine is the most effective way to prevent infection. The DTaP vaccine protects children, and the TDAP booster for adolescents and adults. Typhoid vaccines are also available and are recommended for those traveling to high-risk areas. Food and water safety. For preventing typhoid, always ensure that cooked food is cooked thoroughly. Avoid unpeeled raw fruits and fruits and vegetables, and only drink safe, treated water. Respiratory etiquette. To prevent the spread of respiratory droplets, it's best to avoid contact close to someone who's sick, especially if they're coughing or sneezing. So I'm going to another website. This is important also. This comes from the Coalition for Typhoid.org. Take on typhoid. Hand washing saves lives. Do you, and this is like a blog thing, but this is important. So this comes from Coalition Against Typhoid.org, www.coalitionagainsttyphoid.org. Do you remember how washing your hands as a child? As an adult, you would have to be taught how to run your hands under running water, using lather, soap to remove germs. Did you ever realize the lesson that saved your life? Every year, 1.7 million children, and this is important, every year, 1.7 million children under the age of 5 die from diseases that deal with hand washing that could easily be prevented, including typhoid. Like many diseases, typhoid passes through human feces. When fecal matter is harboring typhoid bacteria, makes it the way on your plate. The people eating it can get sick they can get sick and have high fevers, vomiting, lack of appetite, pain, fatigue, and diarrhea. Children often have built up enough immunity to fight off the disease, are the most vulnerable to the disease and its dangerous symptoms. Hand washing can be a protective measure against typhoid, as hand washing with soap dislodges fecal matter and that can carry deadly pathogens. A study in Jakarta, Indonesia, where typhoid is an epidemic, is found in households that do not use soap for hand washing and is significantly higher contracting typhoid. Washing hands can be so effective in stopping disease that is considered an integral part of achieving the sixth Sustainable Development Goal: water sanitation for all. And for those who've had typhoid, it's important to wash hands with soap. For example, people in Africa don't have adequate hand washing situation, and they don't have adequate water. So the study of Indian food handlers found that education efforts significantly increased the level of knowledge that food handlers have to have good hygiene, like washing hands and handling food, and keeping nails cut and clean. Street food sold by food handlers is a significant source of typhoid transmission. When food handlers keep their hands clean and reduce the risk of passing typhoid, it is good not to do this to potentially dozens of customers. Hand washing of efforts is a key component to preventing typhoid, and perhaps best of all, and it is cost effective. While we can't forget the ultimate importance of vaccination and water sanitation improvements, widespread habitual hand washing can be affordable and stop the gap of not hand washing. And so every state also requires a food handler's test, and that's one of the things that they go through when it comes to a professional kitchen. So let me go over the last thing. A professional cook should wash their hands. A professional cook should wash their hands using the CDC's five steps: wet, lather, scrub, at least for 20 minutes, rinse thoroughly, and dry with a clean hand towel or air dry. Proper technique includes using clean running water, applying soap, and create a lather, scrubbing all surfaces of the hands, palms, backs, and fingers under the nails, and using a clean towel to dry, and then hold on. Excuse me. Dry and turn off the faucet to all, and prevent the spread of foodborne illness. I'm going over the last thing here. Wet your hands. Use clean running water and warm or cold to wet your hands thoroughly. Apply soap. Add enough soap to create a good lather. Scrub vigorously. Rub your hands together to assure and scrub all surfaces. Interlock fingers. Do that again. Interlock fingers and rub your hands together. Rub under your fingernails. Rub your thumb. Rub your thumbs in a twisting motion. Rub at least 20 seconds. To the time it takes. So this might be stupid, but it's important, or might be unimportant to some folks. Rub at least 20 seconds, where it takes time to sing happy birthday. So sing happy birthday and within 20 seconds, and then your hands are clean. Rinse thoroughly. Dry your hands. So rinse thoroughly. Rinse your hands well and clean under running water and remove all soap. Dry your hands and forearms completely with a clean paper towel or air dryer. Turn off the faucet and use paper towel to turn off the faucet to avoid contaminating your hands, and discard the towel. When washing your hands, professional cooks should wash their hands frequently, especially after these activities. Handling raw meats or poultry, using the restroom, touching your hair, face, or sneezing, handling garbage or dirty items, and before starting to cook or touching the face. And if you want to watch this video here, which I'm not going to run, but Gordon Ramsay and other cooks show how to wash your hands on YouTube. This is so important for people who are professional cooks. And the last thing, if you do not wash your hands, or if you go into, there's two things: washing your hands and having a clean uniform while you cook. Having a dirty uniform can deal with germs and so on and so forth. So, people won't go into your restaurant if it's run dirty, and this is why they have inspections. So, for more information on what you've seen today, you can go to www.orcamedia.net, www.orcamedia.net for Able to Cook. I'm Lawrence Seiler. See you next time.